Hey everyone, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is a S&P update and a kick-ass trade of the week alert. We're going to give out a new kick-ass trade of the week and kind of go over what the S&P 500 actually doing. We're looking at the weekly chart, believe it or not, going back all the way to 2008, where this rally really started. And just take a look at the weekly stochastics. You can see one of the main indicators I use have really given us not many opportunities in the last 5 years. Usually one or two opportunities, really good opportunities to get a nice extended pullback, and that was you can pretty much see those right here. Nice little flags. These are continuation patterns. These all time pretty good with the stochastics. Stochastics got back down into an oversold level, crossed back over, and then off to the races. The market went again. So I discussed in the 10 for that, or actually the high probability watch list for the week. I discussed that this market has continued to make new highs, and one of the reasons is that there's no sellers in the market. It makes sense. There's not many sellers in the market, and there's the ones who are selling are the ones who are actually getting out of the position because they're being squeezed out of the position. So in actuality, they're actually buying into this market. The short squeeze candidates have been seen over the last few days. Tesla has been one. Anything that's has a good short position, and next thing you know, you had some positive or not so positive earnings. The market is just kind of eating up those shorts. There's so many above us, and then what happens is they just have to capitulate and they buy and add to the fuel to the fire. So right now we're looking at a market that's continued to do that. Now we take a look at let's take a look at the site here, and I went over in a post today and talked about the psychology of the markets, and I did a nice little write-up, and you can see that on DayTradingRadio.com. And when we look at that, part of that write-up was the psychology during the stock market cycles. And over every week we cover the markets for the last 5-6 years. I've been doing this show. Every single day we're on top of this, so we get to see the fear involved, the greed involved, the excitement, the optimism, the anxiety, the fear. Again, this type of wave, this sine wave that kind of the market cycles into. When we came up, 2008 was basically the last big time where we really had a lot of depression in the market, the banking collapse, all that came right down to here. This was the point of maximum financial opportunity. And as we, QE3 and QE1, 2, 3, and everything else that goes along with it, brought about hope and relief. Now, all of a sudden, I've started to see a kind of a change in the sentiment of the market. A lot of the market movers, market followers, have now adapted, or it's kind of embraced the concept that the market could actually move higher, instead of looking for why the market's moving higher or constantly talking about the correction that's coming. They now maybe are taking a look at the market and saying, well, this market could actually go much higher. And that's the sign of optimism in this market. And after optimism comes excitement, then thrill, then euphoria. So this is it could be the beginning of something much bigger. We talk about the sell in May and go away type of trade, and that came, and we analyzed how much focus was on that. We knew that the market was going to make new highs, just based off of all the attention that the sell in May trade was bringing. Everyone's saying, oh, you got to sell in May and go away. Well, May has come, and we're just moving right up through it. Yes, we're due for a pullback. Yes, that's it's probably going to happen at one point, but with the indicators all lined up here, the stochastics here on the daily are embedded to the upside. These could stay embedded. This market could continue to push higher. There is nothing really here. Even that 60-minute little pullback held on to that held on to the 20-period moving average and popped back up. So we're actually looking bullish going into early next week. And last week and the week before, we had some great setups. So the kick-ass trade for the last 2 weeks have been great, absolutely fantastic. All right, so we take a look at the some of the HPS setups. And this past week's kick-ass trade was Agilent, and you can see. Again, these are the alerts that go out. We're going to just show you the setup here that was sent out. And you can see this is a great underlying trend line right here, a downward trend line, and we're kind of squeezing, but a nice pullback. And you can see the reaction and how that actually moved up. And what a great setup that was. And right from our buy trigger, which was 41.90, right up through the profit zone, and actually shot right through the profit zone. And that was a great one. The week before that, also, another great setup. And again, these kick-ass trades are something I try to just string together as the best of the best, and I do send those out. I send one of these out to the public, where the rest of them all go to members of Day Trading Radio. But Liberty Global here was the other one, and again, perfect textbook flag here, and you can see that this one just took off to the upside. And now to this week's kick-ass trade. I think we go back to the Agilent for a second. All right, we're going to go back to the Agilent in a second and just take a look at that setup one more time. And you can see underlying trend line, the downward trend line, everything's still looking very good. And from that point on, we got that nice breakout. So the kick-ass trade for this week is very similar in that let me show you what it is right now. We'll bring it up for the screen. Drum roll, please. I had a hard time trying to decide which one I was going to do. There was really a couple toss-up, a couple that were really a toss-up. Even so far to, oh God, there's so many good ones. You even have a scalp trade for this Monday. So this Monday, if you happen to be around, early Monday morning, we're going to be doing a scalp on, we're going to be doing a scalp on Adobe Laboratories, DLB. But let's take a look for the setup for this week, and it is going to be, drum roll please. I'm still actually the last minute decision. I want to go with the, all right, I'm going to go with the Western Refining. We're going to go with the Western Refining because it has a very similar pattern. It has a recognizable downward channel. It has upward trend line. It goes all the way back. We're pretty much right on that with the 200 period moving average under us. The daily stochastics here coming back down. We haven't gotten to that level yet. And this is what it looks like on the setups. Here we go. You can see that we have this underlying trend line, a downward channel line. We're going to look for this to hold and push up into this profit zone. Now, I have a buy zone underneath this, but I also have a breakout trigger at 30.95. I mean, I do feel like there's a good shot that this actually breaks and moves higher. If we happen to get a pullback here, and this is still going to look fine. This whole area is a really nice level for a swing trade, but I have a feeling that we actually could get an early run. So I have two triggers on the alert system. One to buy out a trigger at 30.95. If for whatever reason we get that, I'll be taking that trade. If we happen to see a little weakness in the morning, we never get back there. Remember, we close near the lows of the day. So if we do get a little follow through to the downside, we're going to be watching that double bottom around that 28.75 area. And if we start to hold that, that would trigger us in that buy zone. I want to see that hold. If for whatever reason we actually come down into this level, closer we get to that trend line, the more high probability of that bounce, and this trade is really going to come into play. So this is a great setup. It's just a matter of letting it come to you. I don't think it's going to really come down to the lower portion here, but either way, it's in the program. We have an HPS program, and any stock that's listed on the site gets automatically emailed to you once it comes back down into a buy signal. If we put it as a buy zone down here, automatically you'll get that email alert if the price pushes down to that level. Well, that's what's great about that. Same thing with the profit zone and the stop. So again, this is a great one. There's two other ones I have up on the list are just as good. So we'll be trading those actively come Monday morning. And again, just to recap of the S&P 500, not looking for much other than that continued grind here. Yes, we're extended. The one thing I would be concerned about is, what we've seen over the last couple months is when there is something out there like a bombing, the marathon bombing, then after that there's a lot of volatility in the market. It could be even fake tweets, tweets that are hacked, fake news releases, and these really show volatility in the market. And lots of times we see those days that are that get affected by that news, and that's my main concern. This is a big game of musical chairs, and it's important to stay disciplined, stay very disciplined, and we have a nice underlying trend line. I mean, eventually we are going to probably come down and touch this trend line at one point, but we have to just continue to take the high probability setups. When we start to see the market start to roll over, then we adjust our positions. But right now, everything looks pretty good. So I'll see you on the air and see you in the markets. This is DayTraderRockStar for DayTradingRadio.com, and I am out.